Assalamu alaikum. Today is January the 1st, people. It is January the 1st, 2021. It is a new year. It is an opportunity for us to reflect, to plan, to get started again. I shouldn't say get started. We should say kickstart, right? A lot of people want to kickstart something new this year. It is 2021. What did you do when the clock turned to a new year? What did you do? I tell you what we did. We did what we normally do. We sit around and we watch the ball drop in Times Square on television. I have never been to Times Square. I live about an hour and a half from New York City, but I have never gone to Times Square for New Year's. It's just not my thing. I know it's like a popular thing. This year, apparently, they actually, for the first time probably ever, they did not allow the public to go to Times Square. There was like these little booth thingies, and they had like 3 or 4 people inside of the booth. I think they were all first responder kind of people who had the honor of being allowed in Times Square. But they still had the ball to drop. And I think it's hosted by CNN, Anderson Cooper and Andy somebody, who was like cringeworthy. I actually thought it was a very strange presentation, personally. It's like the one time a year you get to see Anderson Cooper tipsy on TV. Bruh. It was like insane. But we all sat around, we watched the ball drop. This year, my grandbaby, my granddaughter, her cuteness, it was the first time her to spend the night over her grandma's house. I was so happy that she came. And we all just said, Happy New Year, and they left home. And left home. So that's what we did. But now I can say, hey, it's the first time you spent the night over Guillermo's house. So she was there. And that's it. That's all. That's all we do. We just watch it. And me and my husband kiss as the first kiss for the new year. And that's it. That's all we do. So we're pretty chill and boring. Alhamdulillah, Bisharo said that she prayed 2 rakats and slept like a baby. There's another day for you, huh? Says it was the worst. They were very weird. We kept turning the channel. We didn't go back and watch until like 11:30. We was like trying to watch other stuff. We were talking. We were doing everything but trying to watch them because it was kind of cringeworthy. Especially if you watched it, especially when Andy kept saying they were lubricated. Like, what does that mean? That sounds very provocative and very weird. Like, what are y'all talking about? It was definitely cringeworthy. That was actually quite strange. So tell me, today is our weekday live. So what are you guys doing today? What are some of your goals for the new year? That's what I want to know. I shared my goal the other day. Every year, instead of setting a weight loss goal or I need to decrease my body fat by this amount, I mean, that goes on all year. You know, fitness is a journey, right? You get a certain weight or a certain body fat, that doesn't make you a better person. But if you set a goal to become a better person, then you will be a better person. So every year, that is actually what I do. So I actually do it twice a year, and they're becoming closer and closer and closer, right? I normally think about kind of this life, if you will, during the beginning of the calendar new year, or the Gregorian calendar, right? And I think about my spiritual goals at the beginning of Ramadan every year. That's a time for me to renew my spiritual goals. So at the beginning of this year, what I normally try to do is I try to take a hadith or a word or a motivational saying, something that speaks to me, and I just really try to incorporate them over the entire year, right? So there was things that I know that I needed to do in order to achieve. And generally, when we have a part of ourselves or our personality or our self-development that we need to improve, generally it is going to affect every area of our life, right? It's not going to just affect your work or just affect your personal life or just affect, right? So, for example, last year, I knew one of the areas that I was lacking in was consistency. And so last year, my goal was consistency. Try to be consistent in what you're doing. Everything. Consistent in the way I'm posting on social media. Consistent in the doing my chores at home. I have to admit, I still have to be consistent in doing chores. Because I don't like doing things like washing dishes. I don't. I'm going to be honest. So all of those kids out there who hate washing dishes, you do not grow up and later love to wash dishes, okay? It sticks with you. That's just one try. I would rather clean the bathroom than wash dishes. Like, really. Like, who's with me? Washing dishes is like my least favorite job. My kids know this. My husband knows this. Like, if I'm washing dishes, they know that it's bad. Either I'm mad or irritated because they did something to me. I'll be completely honest. Like, I don't like washing dishes. I don't mind washing clothes and folding clothes. I do not mind vacuuming. I don't mind even cleaning the bathroom or taking out the trash. But because the thing with dishes, and so I realize why I don't like washing dishes. The reason I don't like washing dishes is because they are never ending. I swear, it's like one of those cartoons where like you pick up a plate and there's always another plate underneath it. And then you clean the kitchen and you come back 30 minutes later, and somebody's dirtied the kitchen again. I hate doing the kitchen. Okay? I don't like it. I did over the last few weeks completely reorganize the kitchen. See, that's the thing, Bashir, right? I actually don't mind cooking, but I will not cook, and this is why I reorganized my kitchen too. So when I say like making space, Farida, I have a dishwasher, and I still don't like doing it. I know, it is so bad, isn't it? Maybe I need to make that a part of my New Year's resolution. All right, no. So Bashira, so listen, I don't mind cooking. I actually enjoy cooking, right? Unfortunately, I like making things that are very health conscious, which is not always my family's favorite, but they'll eat it if I make it, right? Or at least they used to. But because the kitchen has to be cleaned in order to cook, I noticed that I don't like cooking anymore because I know I have to clean the kitchen. So it's all connected. So remember, like, I was like, this is not unrelated to what I was saying prior, is generally everything in your life is attached to one another. So when I decided that I am going to redo my kitchen and I'm going to reorganize it, maybe if I gather the energy to clean my kitchen, I'll show you my reorganized kitchen. Maybe. I won't show you a dirty kitchen. So I like took everything out the cabinets. I ordered like $500 worth of organizational things, an extra shelf, baskets, the containers that you put in the rice and the flour, because I was like looking at all of these YouTube videos. I'm a part of an organization tips Facebook group, and I admire everybody's kitchen and stuff, and their cabinets. And so I decided that I wanted to have an HGTV cabinet and kitchen. And so I ordered all of this stuff, and I did all my things that I could take out of packages. I put them inside the container, and it does look a lot neater, right? Instead of having like 50 different bags and half of them are filled and half of them are not filled, you put everything inside of a container, and it actually looks nice. Now, the challenge is, will my family, and I only have 2 other people in the house, keep it organized? So far, the answer to that question has been no. I'm still putting stuff back in the cabinet that's left on the counter. It's only been a week. So I'll have to get like mad or something, and then they'll pay attention. Right? So that is my thing. If people in the house can reach the sink and they're old enough to handle it, yeah, that's what we think, Nicole. Yeah, that's what we think. That worked when your kids are young enough where they still listen to you. Okay? I am resisting creating a chore list. I feel like if everybody in the house is grown, I should not have to make a chore list. I should not have to tell people to wash the dishes. And so sometimes I will go days and I will order food and I will have protein shakes just so that I don't have to go in the kitchen. That's probably TMI. Don't talk about me, y'all. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Adam said, when I cook, I wash what's dirty, then I'm done. Cook everything clean, then I serve the food. I divorce the kitchen, and whoever's eating will do the dishes. Yeah, that sounds good too. I try to do that, but now I'll have dishes in the sink because... But see, that's the thing. Okay, here, Adam. So here's my response. Why do I have to clean the kitchen before I cook? Whoever made the mess should have cleaned up after themselves. When it's time to cook, I shouldn't have to go in there and clean the kitchen. Right? Help me out, people. Really? All right. I came on here to talk about goals and we're talking about dirty dishes. But that's okay. That's what happens. You have a life, right? Right? But seriously, like, I kind of feel that way. Like, if I'm going to cook, and so sometimes I'll be like, oh, I really want to, try a new recipe, or I want to cook. And then I'll walk in the kitchen and there's dishes in the sink. Mind you, the sink is right here and the dishwasher is right here, but there's dishes in the sink. Okay? Now, I understand the practicality of why that's occurring is because sometimes people will, and myself included, start the dishwasher clean the dishes, and then they leave the dishes in the dishwasher. Because you forget, right? Dishwasher takes like an hour, and then you come back and you're doing something else. And so instead of putting the dirty dishes in the dishwasher, they go in the sink. And then you still have a sink full of dishes, and you got to put away dishes, and you have to put in dishes. So... Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Bashira. Yes. Thank you for agreeing with me, Adam. See? All right, let's talk about goals. Because my goal is I'm going to cook more. But so I wrote the other day that my goal is to create space in my life, right? And so space... I want to create space in every level of my life. That is my goal, right? Physical, meaning my physical space. Like I feel like we have too much stuff and the stuff that we have is not organized. And so I started that process by literally organizing my kitchen, right? Because one of the things that I did realize is what I just said earlier is I want to cook, right? I want to try new recipes. I would like to, enjoy my food. But one of my frustrations is the kitchen. And so I have organized the kitchen better in hopes that it will stay more organized and it will stay cleaner so that I can do that, because that's creating space. So you see how everything kind of like one thing leads into the next thing? So I'm trying to create space in my physical space. I want to create space in my emotional space, right? So I have a couple of contentious relationships inside of my life and people who I have stopped talking to, right? And so that creates an emotional burden, and it takes up space in your thoughts, it takes up space in your heart, it takes up space inside of in your, I believe in energy, right? I believe in energy field. It takes up space inside of your energy field. And so to resolve those contentious relationships is going to release space. So that's where space comes inside of in an emotional sense, right? And another thing that I wanted to do this year is I wanted to return to my Quran teacher. And in order to do that, I have to create space inside of my time, right? So I have to clearly delineate, like, this is where I'm going to work, and this is going to be my personal time, and this is going to be my study time, right? I need to create space. So that was one of my goals. And I already have a Quran teacher, so I know that there's a lot of people on my page that always message me about teaching Quran. So you don't have to message me because I have a Quran teacher. Okay. So creating space in my time, right? So that was the word that I felt would resonate with the parts of my life that I need to improve, right? When you create goals for yourself, whenever, whether it's the new year or it's a new month or whatever, you should always begin with the end in mind, right? So what are you trying to achieve? What is the thing that I'm trying to, okay, so let's take, for example, I want to go back to studying and memorizing Quran, right? So if that's the goal, what are the things that I need to do to get there? And it's not always as simple. So this is how I assess how people often sabotage themselves. They don't interconnect their goals with everything else in their life, right? So studying Quran is not just about, okay, I need to learn this amount of ayats a day, or I need to sit down for this amount of time a day. Studying Quran is, I know that I need to cut things out of my time. So my time is affected. My emotional space is affected, right? So what is the things that I need to do to make the mental space, the emotional space, and the physical time space in order to achieve that goal? Those things actually need to come before I do the practical, actual sit down and learn this amount of ayats a day, right? The same thing is when I'm going to bring it to health and fitness, because that is one of the topics of this page. When it comes to your health and fitness goals, oftentimes people just think of the physical things that they need to do, right? I want to lose 30 pounds this year, so I am going to exercise 4 days a week. I am going to start eating healthy, right? Those are the physical action steps that you need to take. But what is it? Because nothing happens in a silo, particularly in our life. What are the things that you need to do around that, right? So if you have little kids and it is going to be a struggle for you to to carve out an hour a day, you may have to restructure your day and your children's day around the fact that you need to now start to exercise, right? So it may not be as easy as saying, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go walking every day at 10 o'clock, right? It may be, hey, I'm going to change my kid's school schedule so that during this time and this time, my husband knows that he has to do schooling with him. And so it may involve schooling with them so that I can go for my walk. And so it may involve you having a conversation with your spouse. It may involve, or an older child, right? However you need to structure your day. It may mean, hey, I'm now going to make my 2-year-old take a nap at 12 instead of at 1, right? I'm going to start training them to go down at 12 so that I can go for my walk, right? So you have to think about the things that is going to facilitate you, right? So you have that thing you need to do, exercise, but what are the things in your life that needs to facilitate that? Know and think about where your obstacles are, right? So here's a great example, right? My life is just full of examples. This morning, when I woke up, I wanted to have coffee. I like coffee, all right? That's my problem. That's another problem that I have. I don't just drink coffee because I need it for energy. Like, my energy level is fine. I really like the way coffee tastes. Yeah, I do. A good cup of coffee, like, I need to give me some decaf coffee because sometimes at night I really like, oh, I would love coffee. But then I know if I drink coffee, then I'm going to stay up all night. And so I don't drink the coffee at night, right? But I really love coffee. But I was out of all of my instant coffee. So I bought the little Starbucks instant packs. And so I said, okay, no problem. My husband makes his coffee from ground beans, and so I was like, I can make them from beans, right? A little bit more messy, a little bit more effort, but I can do that. So I went to get the coffee pot, which is on my counter, but I haven't used it in a while because I sort of like the ease. I try to make things as easy as I can. Right? Rasulullah was telling me, said, when you have a choice between two things, take the easier path. That is definitely me. That is a sunnah I can practice a lot. Okay? So, instant coffee packs, people. Instant coffee packs. So, didn't have my instant coffee packs, pulled out the coffee pot, and when I opened up the coffee pot, the grinder inside it, so I brought this super fancy coffee pot, like, earlier in the year. The grinder inside it was in the drawer, was not there. I had to go in the drawer and find the grinder. And then I had to go back and find the top to the grinder. And then I had to go and try to find the top to the coffee pot that goes underneath the pot, because the top to the coffee pot is important because it presses up so that it tells the coffee to drain out. So it's all a big puzzle. If you don't have one piece, you can't make coffee. Well, I was searching around the kitchen for like 10 minutes looking for all of these pieces. I have no idea how they got separated from the coffee pot. I did not have coffee this morning. I was like, well, I guess I'll be going to have another glass of water because there's no top to the coffee pot. And I couldn't find it. And so I couldn't have coffee. That also happens when you're trying to work out. And you plan on getting up in the morning and you're trying to exercise and you have this grandiose plan how you're going to have you do a long run and you're going to do this and that. And then you go look for your good sports bra and you can't find it. You go try to find your workout pants and one is inside of the laundry in the basement and then your shirt is upstairs on the 3rd floor and you're running around the house for 20 minutes to just go out to do a 20-minute workout, right? So when you were planning, this would have been a much easier process for me this morning if I had made sure everything was together or was available for me the night before. Do the same thing with your workout gear. Don't think about just the activity. Think about literally every step you need to take in order to achieve that thing so that you can put all of the things in place to get there, right? So if you know that you want to get up in the morning and you want to work out and you want to just be able to get up, if you're doing it after Fajr, make Fajr, get dressed, and then go work out, make sure all your stuff is together, right? The night before, put it out all of your underclothes, find your good workout bra, find whatever else you need in order to work out. Put your pants, your shirt, your hijab, right? I have like 5 different types of workout hijabs. No, I don't have a favorite. No, I don't have a recommendation. I think that they all have their good and bad points. But I have like 5 of them, but they're small and they're like socks. They're always getting lost. You can never find them, right? So I have to make sure the night before, okay, where's my workout hijab? What's the weather going to be like? Which hijab do I need to wear tomorrow if I'm going to go run outside, right? So put everything together the night before. So if we are in it, and that should be, we don't do it, but it's like, we don't do it for things that are important that we're planning to do, but other things that has become culturally a part of our life, or then we do it all the time, right? So when we say we're going to brush our teeth every morning, you don't put your toothpaste in the basement and then have your toothbrush in your drawer, right? Everything is together in the toothpaste holder, in the bathroom, so you can go in the bathroom every day and brush your teeth and everything's there convenient. And it's right there in your face when you wake up and you're in the bathroom washing your face so you don't even forget. Most people, that's the way that they brush their teeth. And if you don't brush your teeth like that, make sure to make it convenient. Don't keep your toothpaste in the basement. You're not going to brush your teeth every morning if you do that, all right? So make it convenient for yourself. Make it as easy as possible. Prepare the night before, right? If you know you struggle in the morning getting your breakfast together, then get up at nighttime. Make sure that you know what you're going to have the next day and you put it all together. If you know that you struggle with, hey, I'm doing intermittent fasting and the problem is that when it's time for me to break my fast, I don't know what to eat. Plan it the day before. Have to put a plan in place, not just the steps. The steps is one part of it, but you got to put a plan in place for all of the things around those steps. All right? So tell me what your goals is. I saw a couple of goals here. Adam says, I still have the ones from last year, so I'll use them. Okay. So if you're going to use the ones from last year, let me suggest this. Identify what was the obstacles that prevented you from achieving them and make a plan on how you're not going to succumb to those obstacles this year. Right? So we're not carrying it over year after year after year. All right? Goals? What's your goals? What's your goals? My goal is to memorize Quran with my children next 2 years. Oh, may Allah make you successful. Alhamdulillah. What you got for goals, people? What goals do you have? A flat in my tummy. Okay. So what are now you have to come up with the steps that you are going to take in order to get to that goal. And all of the things around it. So you said forever, inshallah, that is for you to create lifetime habits then. You have to create habits and not just a to-do list, right? That's important as well. So let me say, I'm gonna give you some technicals before I log off, because a lot of times people ask me things like this, right? what is a good weight loss goal, right? When it comes to weight, it is a means to an end. So this is what you have to get in your head. Weight loss is a means to an end. The end is to be healthy, right? Because excess weight is just a symptom of your body dysfunctioning, right? A hormonal disruption, right? Metabolic syndrome. It is just a symptom of the bigger picture. So, if your goal is to be healthy, weight is just one aspect of that, right? So, is your weight loss goal connected to a BMI? Is your weight loss goal connected to a body fat percentage? Is your weight loss goal connected to a healthy measurement? Like, all of those are indicators of health. So connect it to something in terms of health, and then connect that to something in terms of your ibadah, right? That actually makes it much bigger and much more important, and it keeps you with a longer term goal and focus, right? So how is that going to help you? How is your physical goal going to help you mentally and spiritually? You should connect the three together. When it comes to how you're losing weight, you need to do something that is going to keep you consistent, right? So one of the things that me as a health and wellness coach, I am super proud of clients that lose weight during my programs and during my coaching. But what makes me fulfilled is when they're not coaching with me anymore and they come back and I run into them or see them 2 or 3 or 5 years later and they've kept the weight off. That fulfills me because I see that they have changed their lifestyle, and it wasn't just a diet. And it wasn't just a temporary thing, and it wasn't just a to-do list, as I say. That is what makes a huge difference, right? When you're able to understand how what you're doing and how you're eating is affecting your lifestyle and your physical health, and you're able to make changes based on that. Most of the time when people are not able to stick to a plan or be consistent with exercise is because they're doing it as a chore and they haven't connected it to the broader picture. So inside of my program, I just did for the first time as a group coaching, I did Mastering the Inner Game of Weight Loss. And I did it as a masterclass, a 4-part masterclass. And it was so, I think, needed as a part of the program that I decided that I was going to sell it as a separate program, but I'm actually going to include it inside of the weight loss program because I think that's really kind of like that key that is going to allow people to make this a lifestyle and them to consistently be able to keep the weight off. Which also reminds me, I cannot forget that we are doing a flash sale. I announced it yesterday. I was going to end the sale at the end of this video, but I screwed up. How did I screw up? I sent out an email for everybody's on my email list, and the email, I told people to go to the website and register for the last opportunity to get the course at this price. But the link was not working from the email. I got several people to contact me and say the link was not working or it did not take them to the right page. So I'm going to extend the sale until midnight tonight. And then that's it. We're closing it down. So you want to go to MR40, the number 40 method.com. So MR40method.com. And you can get my $297 coaching for only $97. You're going to get the same BOGO deal that I offered during Black Friday. So you're going to get 12 weeks of coaching for $97. We have our first coaching session this Sunday. So that's another reason why this is the last time for you to jump on board, because we have to get you your links for the Zoom and get you inside of the WhatsApp group and inside of the Facebook group and all that other great stuff. So make sure that you go to mr40method.com and you jump on board for this very last time offering the program for $97. And yes, you're going to actually get the recording of Mastering the Inner Game of Weight Loss in order for you to not just jump on a 40-day challenge, because it is a 40-day challenge. I'm asking you to jump in with 2 feet. We got lots of support to help you. You're going to jump in with 2 feet, but you also are going to continue the habits for a lifetime, because you're going to understand how food and movement affects your body physiologically, and that really is the key. In addition to that, you get Mastering the Inner Game of Weight Loss. So now you're going to know how to connect the weight that you want to lose to your big why, right? What is the reason you're truly trying to lose that weight, right? What's the reason? And once you make that connection, you'll keep the weight off, because now you have a motivating factor that does not change, right? It stays the same, and so you're always motivated to keep going. Whether that motivating factor is reversing your health problems so that you can be able to make Hajj, or you can be a better parent, or you can be a better wife, or you can be a better daughter. I want to physically be able to, for example, get healthier because my parents are getting older and I don't want them taking care of me. I want to be able to take care of them, right? That kind of stuff is important, right? Our life and our health and wellness is not just about, hey, I want to fit inside of a size 6 jeans. If your goal is to fit in some skinny jeans, awesome. That can be one of the things you tick off on the way to your ultimate goal. I mean, that ain't a bad thing. Like, who don't want to look good in jeans? I'm just saying. But don't make that your only goal. Okay, people. That's all for today. Today is January the 1st, and I hope that you are setting goals that is going to make your year absolutely awesome, that is going to improve your life in this world and in the Akhirah. So I will talk to you on Monday. All right? I can't every day. I got to take a day off. See, that's another part of my space, my time space for the new year. All right? Okay. I will talk to you soon, but I'm here. Ask me a question. I'll answer it underneath the comments. All right? Assalamu alaikum.